Have you ever found when you're preparing for Sunday morning, you've got your harmony, maybe you're singing the lower harmony, maybe you're singing the higher harmony, and you feel like you've got it down pat, you're singing with melody, sounds great, and then you get to Sunday morning and you sing with the other harmony parts. Bless them, they're a wonderful blessing, but sometimes it doesn't sound good with them, and you don't know who to blame. You don't know whether to blame you, or whether to blame them, or whether it's nobody's fault and you just need to figure it out. So we're gonna dig into an example here in the song "God Is For Us" by CityAlight. We're going to use the end of their chorus to examine this a little bit. We're going to look at an upper harmony and a lower harmony, both of which sound fine on their own, to my ear at least. But when you put them together, you may not like it as much. So let's hear the first one. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? And yes, that's me in double. I can't sing harmony with myself. It'd be really nice if I could, but I can't. So here's the melody. Right. And we have that lower harmony there is doing this. Yeah, sounds fine, right? Let's hear the upper harmony. So maybe we'll put it in with the upper harmony. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Okay, that one sounds okay on its own too. You might not like my pitch. The bones of that, right, are fine. So, nope, that wasn't it. It was... So that's your upper harmony, right? Both of those sound fine on their own, but when you put them together, you may not like it. Let's listen. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? So, bottom line here, and this is the most important thing, is that if your harmony is bringing people to God and helping them worship, then that's a blessing, right? If this is a blessing to your church, and you think your harmony is great, nobody else cares, then let it be. But if you are hearing that crunch, because what you were hearing there, if you're hearing that crunch and you don't like it, you may not know how to fix it, and that's what I want to talk about. So, yeah, and that's really the key thing that I don't particularly care for in that recording is that crunchiness, right? Now, in some contexts, it can sound really good, right? If you have the band backing you up, right? I think like that sounds pretty cool. It's a little jazzy. It's like a 6 chord or something like that. But you might not want that sound. So let's look at what's going on here. And hopefully there's some visuals to accompany this. Who could stand against us if our God is for us? All right, so that's the lower harmony. And the upper harmony. Who could stand against us if our God is for us? Okay. So yeah, like I said, the crunch there is where the lower part goes up from the G to the B flat, and the upper part stays on the C, right? That's the crunchy part that you might want to resolve. So if two notes are too close together, there's one of two things you can do. You can either move the upper harmony up or the lower harmony down, right? Obviously staying within the key. So let's see what happens if we move the upper harmony up. Hi, buddy. Oh, hi. Here's your Sitka. People probably want to see the Sitka. Here is the Sitka. He's a puppy. Oh, good dog. Yes, a good dog. Yes, a good dog. He's a good dog. Aw. Now he's resting his head on my bench. Okay. Bye, dude. Okay, so let's see what happens if we move the upper harmony up. So instead of doing this, if our God is for us, let's try moving it up. If our God is for us, to avoid that crunchy. Let's just move it up to there. Let's see how that sounds. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Okay, I really like that. Couple pet peeves in there, but I am 100% willing to ignore those if this is how the group sounds. It's a nice open triad. It's bouncing from the B flat to the E flat B flat being the 5 chord in this key, the E flat being the root, and then back down to the root. So that one's great, right? If that's where you end up, if you move the upper harmony up, that's great. Let's see what happens if we move the lower harmony down. So instead of being, if our God is for us, if we do, if our God is for us, which may feel like a more natural harmony anyway, because it follows the contour of the melody. Okay, so let's see what happens if we move the lower harmony down. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Okay, super. Same thing, it creates these nice open triads. And the only difference there, instead of going from the E to the E flat to the B chord, we're going from the E flat to an F minor chord. So if you really want to be like picky about how you want to sound, you might debate whether you like this sound better or this sound better. Right? Like, who cares? If you can get your group to sing in nice open spaced harmonies like that, then that's great. And if you can get them to sing confidently in a beautiful little crunchy harmony like that, then that's great too. If you can get them to confidently sing it. But the reason I would avoid this harmony is because people are going to hear it when you're singing on Sunday morning or Saturday night or whenever your service is. They might second guess themselves if they turn up the other singers in their monitors and they hear the other singers a little more clearly and it's a little more dissonant. They might doubt that that's what they were supposed to be singing. If you're going to focus on this, I would try to avoid that unless you guys are like solid as a rock. So in that specific example, we took the upper harmony up, or we took the lower harmony down. What happens if we do both? It creates this. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? If that's what you end up doing, that's great. Like, if everyone's confident with that, then super. But if you don't like this sound, my ear hears that, and here's the tritone in here. And tritones are, I don't know, they can be a really pretty interval in certain contexts, but they can really be a really ugly interval in other contexts. The traditional purpose of the tritone interval in music is to resolve a dominant 7 chord and resolve it, right? Where one of the notes of the tritone resolves a half step down and the other one resolves a half step up, right? If that was the direction that everybody was going, if it was taking that tritone and everybody was resolving it in the direction that it traditionally resolves, then I think it would probably sound really good. The reason I don't really care for it is because this tritone doesn't resolve that way. It goes like that, which is not as satisfying of a movement for the harmony. One of the other reasons that you might try to avoid a tritone is because it, especially in this moment of this song, there's often the band cuts out in this part of the song. So if we hit a tritone, like if we really want to be elaborate, and like you could imagine it being over a chord like that, where then you would want to resolve it to C minor. I don't think anyone's ear is going to hear that. But sometimes when you have a tritone and it's in a dominant 7 chord like this, but you don't have the root of the dominant 7 chord, I think that's really the problem. Is because it's trying to be a B flat 7 chord, but without the B flat. Like as soon as we add that, then it sounds great. So if your band is playing in the background during this part, and this is over this context of like that, then it's probably fine. Like, and you probably don't need to stress people out over what they're singing and just let them give their gifts to the church. So anyway, so I would tend to avoid this kind of this tritone by either moving that lower harmony back up to that B flat, or by pulling the upper harmony down. Right. Okay. Hope you learned something. If there's a song that you are struggling with the harmony on and you'd like me to waste my time digging into it and make another little video about some of the music theory concepts behind whatever harmony is going on in that moment, then I'd love it if you would put a comment below so that we can help each other out. My whole goal with this is to help the church to improve its craft and to help us connect with our worship in a more meaningful way, I suppose you could say. So yeah, let me know. Most of the people watching this probably have my phone number, so if feel free to text me, or yeah, put a comment down below about what song you would like to see next, or if there's some concept in this that you would like to hear explained some more. Yeah, I'd love to hear your feedback. Cool. Thanks, guys.